back here for round 3. 0 and 2. Ryan, I'm sorry. I won't claim that I'm, trying my best because played pretty pitifully last round, but I'm gonna try to turn things around. I got a little trigger happy here, but we have a Thoughtseize on the stack targeting us, and our hand is fine. So see how this plays out against our probable Jund opponent. No surprise, I take the Snapcaster Mage, just the grindiest card in our hand. Dark Confidant. Okay. Gonna get the Steam Vents. Really need to find an answer to this, Bob, if we can. Milled over a Thoughtscour Remand, a Remand and a land. Play the Swamp. Unfortunately, this Dark Confidant is gonna live. But maybe we can Mana Leak our opponent's next play, and then like snap Thoughtscour and hit a removal spell for this. Or even just like a big threat. I think it's too dangerous to play our Snapcaster and try to trade. Turns on any of our opponent's removal spells, or just lets them like play something like Liliana. Our opponent smartly decides not to play into Mana Link, and thankfully we drew Lightning Bolt, which is actually great. Cracked my fetch land because I misclicked, because I'm an imbecile. So we're just going to get an island and Lightning Bolt this Dark Confidant. It looks like our opponent has entered the try to brute force through counterspells part of the game, but no 4th land drop is critical to note. So generally speaking, I am a fan of cracking my fetch lands before casting things like Serum Visions, and I really want a Blood Crypt off this Polluted Delta, so it's definitely a consideration just to crack this for Blood Crypt, play Serum Visions, and leave up Mana Leak, and then not leave up Snapcaster Mage, which I think overall is fine considering we're kind of covered. There is a world where like our opponent could like Inquisition our Mana Leak and then cast Liliana the Veil if they draw another land. And so maybe that's scary enough to warrant waiting for a turn. And it's not like we're pressed to cast the Serum Visions this turn. We have plenty of mana, so I actually have talked myself into that play. Okay, just Tarmogoyf. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna get on the board. Just crack this for Blood Crypt. Take a little extra damage, but Mana Leak this Tarmogoyf with our Snapcaster Mage. That gives us a lot more freedom to use our mana and leave up Mana Leak rather than leaving up Snapcaster Mage. Might get punished if our opponent just follows up with like another Dark Confidant or something, but something that we can Lightning Bolt basically. But if they just have like another Goyf, then not much we could have done about it. Spell Snare. You're not on time. I mean, Lightning Bolt's not bad, but it's not really doing much of anything, so I think we just need to bottom that. I'll go ahead and Thoughtscour myself. Play the... no, I can't play this Delver. I ran out of blue sources. taking a big here, going to 6. Getting kind of punished on the turn that I cracked my land and took damage when I probably didn't need to. Corsair Crucifix. It's pretty cool, but counts as a spell we can mana link, so we basically are obligated to do that. It does grow the Tarmogoyf, so maybe should have done that pre-combat. Interesting. Okay, Delver's in chump blocking duty, which is not great. Spell snare that. I really would love to chump block. I want the option of doing so. Man like that, and pray we draw terminate basically. Alright, one more turn. Yep. Alright. Definitely want all 4 of these Ancestral Visions. This is basically the matchup they're there for. Engineer Explosives can clean up some boards like that. Another Go for the Throat's nice. Don't know if I want all this reactive counter magic. I don't think so. Again, I kind of want to board out on Delvers. Having a threat's nice, but I really just want to grind my opponent out with Ancestral Visions and a bunch of interactive stuff. But I don't want to be too threat light either. Can probably shave on a Remand. Maybe even a Mana Leak. I guess if we assume the games are going to go long, then we could probably cut a Mana Leak. And cut a Delver. Good enough, I suppose. Alright, this is a reasonable hand. Got some of our opponent's early plays covered, a couple lands, Snapcasters for going long. Kind of need to choose whether we want to fetch up a Blood Crypt or like a Steam Vents. Not having access to black mana could definitely be problematic. And we could also actually just play our Thought Scour off of the basic island on the first turn and try to figure out a little bit more information before we choose how to fetch with our Bloodstained Mire, but I'm just going to play the Mire. Alright, Drew Ancestral Visions, that's nice. Okay, great. Alright, so we drew the Watery Grave. So if we pay 2 life here, then we can bluff a counterspell, basically. Like, we could Thought Scour in our main phase and try to hit a counterspell and then pay 2 life to represent it. Which is probably the best way to sell that we actually have a counterspell. So I think this is actually pretty reasonable. Could also just, like, hit something like a Tassiger and just play it immediately. So maybe our opponent will be less inclined to like cast Liliana the Veil this turn, which is something we definitely don't want them to do. Although it appears they might not even be able to do that. So if we're under no pressure and we have an Ancestral Vision sticking down, I feel pretty good about our spot. Looks like a K command, sure. Discard the swamp. Rather snap Thought Scour myself with a bolt in hand. Oop. Works for me. We're gonna mana-link this Tarmogoyf, terminate this Tarmogoyf, our Ancestral Visions will resolve, and then we should be in good shape. Play this Delver. I think we can just leave this land in our hand for right now. Maybe we should have gone ahead and just Snapcastered the Serum Visions that turn, honestly. Kind of in a weird spot where we can't Lightning Bolt the Scavenging Ooze, and so if we just sit for a while, then maybe they can just exile some stuff from our graveyard, and our mana will be eaten up for a bunch of turns, so I think I actually do just want to go ahead and terminate the Scavenging Ooze now. Okay, Angler and Snapcaster are exiled. We'll reveal that Serum Visions. Cast it. I will bottom the Engineered Explosives. I really just want to draw a threat. And I'll top Thought Scour and play a land, pass. Kitchen Finks. Another Serum Visions. Alright, yep, we'll go ahead and set up that Ancestral Visions for next turn, I suppose. Happy to take this Kitchen Finks hit, and then if our opponent wants to block with their Raging Ravine, then we can bolt it and start racing. Tarmogoyf. Kind of ruins that plan a bit, but Serum Visions into this Ancestral Visions. Hit, terminate. Suspend this. Definitely not trading. If our opponent tries to get aggressive Raging Ravine, we'll bolt that, take 7, go to 7, terminate the Tarmogoyf, and then should be able to race pretty easily from there. Ooh, a Scavenging Ooze. It's pretty scary. So we can Mana Leak this, and that will allow us to Lightning Bolt it. Instead of, let's see how many creatures are in the graveyards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think we are just forced to make that play. So I could block the Tarmogoyf and bolt it, which buys us some life. Go to 11. Allow our opponent to go to combat. Probably terminate the Raging Ravine at that point, which is pretty awkward. So we take 7, go to 7. We bolt this, terminate this, then Raging Ravine's lethal in the following turn. So it's not really a good plan, I don't think. I think we do have to hold our Insectile Aberration back, though, which is unfortunate. Looks like our opponent was playing around Snapcaster Mage. So we did buy a little time here. Really looking for a big threat. Either a Gurmag Angler or Tasker. Tasker preferably, I think. Okay. This game's gonna be tough. Spell Snare is basically no good. Going to 1 this turn, and kind of need to draw like Snapcaster Mage or a Culligan's Command. Spell Snare is not going to do it. So maybe the turn that I didn't snap Serum Visions, and the turn I actually did do it instead of leaving up Mana Leak, where I could have Mana Leaked this Kitchen Finks, is kind of where this game fell apart.